Hello guys and welcome, and I'm gonna be discussing two concerning issues in Namibia, which is LGBT rights and marriage equality and abortion. Should it be legalized? Should it not be legalized in Namibia? Um, yeah, my name is Carl. I'm just an ordinary Namibian, and let's get started. So in this article, I would like to speak about the bad access to the protections, benefits, and obligations of civil marriage. A person who enters into an intimate exclusive union with another of the same sex is arbitrarily deprived of membership in one of our community's most rewarding and cherished institutions. That exclusion is incompatible with the constitutional principles of respect for individual autonomy and equality under law. I mean, everyone has a right to marriage, right? Yes, and also a right to find a family, and these they are entitled to protection by the community or society and by the nation. So it is time now to press onto full social equality, and by eradicating all forms of heterosexist bias. Many same-sex couples wish to marry. They want to do so for the same reasons that opposite-sex counterparts do: to publicly proclaim and to celebrate their love and commitment, to protect their children, and to ensure legal and social recognition, and for a host of other reasons. These couples would greatly benefit from being able to realize their choice to marry an intensely personal sorry choice um, that is widely recognized, at least for the heterosexual couples, as a basic human right. Instead of sending a message that all Namibians are to be treated fairly and equally, regardless of their sexual orientation, the message currently being sent by our federal law is that it is acceptable to exclude lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender persons from a central social institution, and that their relationships are inferior to those of opposite-sex couples. Providing same-sex couples with the equal right to marry will not harm any religious institutions in any way. Each religion will still have the right to choose whether or not to perform marriages for same-sex couples. Religions that wish to perform marriages for same-sex couples should have the freedom to do so. In my opinion, some opponents of equal marriages have suggested that marriage as an institution would be weakened, and even tainted by their presence. I mean, such people, of course, have their right, are free to hold whatever views they wish, and the treatment of same-sex couples. But Namibian law should not be based upon such degrading and offensive notions. I mean, no group of Namibians should be systematically excluded from any legal institution, let alone one essential to our society. As legal marriage, it must be open to all Namibians, regardless of their sexual orientation. Someday, same-sex couples in Namibia will have the legal right to marriage, and uh, that is inevitable, as with every major human rights advance, from the abolition of slavery to allowing women to vote. Future generations will look back and wonder how anyone could have opposed such a basic human right. So, same-sex couples have and raise children. Allowing these couples um, legally marry affords their children the same protections and benefits as children raised by opposite-sex couples. Another thing is that Namibia is a Christian country. It's 99% Christian, and I think this whole thing is somehow, I don't know, but I think that the church should stay out of politics. I mean, there's a big difference between being informed by a religion and being dictated by it. You know what I'm saying? So I think the danger is when religion becomes a political ideology, or when that religion becomes the center of the system. I think it's wrong and very undemocratic. Look at the Middle East, Sudan, Saudi Arabia. We have to be very careful in Namibia not to head in that direction, because that's when the minority suffers. These are women, children, gays, and lesbians, and in Namibia, the same-sex couples and all gay, lesbians, bisexual, and transgender persons, for that matter, still suffer under the weight of stigma Prejudice, although much progress has been done, sorry, they are still often subject to verbal and physical assaults. Many of them still grow up in isolation, in fear, and kids who are not heterosexual still face significantly higher suicide rates than their heterosexual counterparts. These attitudes of prejudice are reinforced and given state sanctions by discriminatory laws. As long as they are denied the equal right to marry, alternative regimes do not fix discrimination. I mean, Namibia would not be the first country and not the last to take this step. I mean, this is already same-sex marriage is already a reality in growing list of countries, including Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, South Africa, and Spain, Canada, etc. I mean, just to mention a few. Yeah, and yeah. And so that leads to me to my next topic, which is abortion. Should it be legal? And what I think. I mean, yeah, I think the main question is why. How can we reduce the already happening illegal abortions, backstreet abortions, and the death rate of women that die during this going through this process, or the death rate of the babies born alive that go through this that are killed by their parents or something. So having abortion legal and done by professional will reduce the amount of deaths connected with backstreet abortions. This is I'm gonna quote a statement by the U.S. president, the former U.S. president, which is Barack. I am pro-choice, not that I'm pro-abortion, because ultimately I don't think women make these decisions casually. They wrestle with these things in profound ways, in consultation with their pastors, spouses, doctors, and all their family members. I think we should think of ways to reduce the number of abortions and educate people on using contraceptives. Even though our government opposes abortions, the number of abortions hasn't gone down. Um, uh, all in all, it should be left up to the parents, I mean the mother and the father, to decide if they want to go abortion, but the choice should not be left up to them alone after the embryo has developed to a stage where it gets to when it gets human traits, you know. They should be only be allowed to do abortion in the first 10 to 12 weeks of pregnancy, where it's proven that it's not fully human, and the doctor should not allow them to do abortion if there should be the law should not allow them to do abortion if the fetus is in the later stages of development, unless the mother's life is threatened. This should not. This should be the law, and it should not be put into effect everywhere at once. I mean, this would make it equal, and no parents could cheat the law by driving to another country, for example, by going to South Africa to get their abortions done there. It is invasive. It is an invasive invasion of the rights of women. This group wants abortion to remain legal, or to be legal and accessible, as they think that everyone has the right to choose whether they want to keep the baby or kill it. Access to legally professional performed abortions reduces injury and death caused by unsafe illegal abortions. And I thank you for watching this video. Please do comment and